there, and welcome to the Transparently Jordan podcast, where I'll be talking with a new guest each week, and we'll be covering topics in health, fitness, lifestyle, and so much more. So stick around and let's get into today's episode.
This is Radiant Voices Media.
Hey everyone, I want to tell you about a brand called Reed, the sunglasses made by runners for runners. Born in Sydney, Reed was built with one goal in mind: to create sunnies that actually keep up with you. Whether you're hitting a sunrise tempo session or grinding through a weekend-long run, Reed delivers crystal clear lens tech, lightweight frames, and durability that doesn't quit, no matter how many times you sweat through them or stuff them in your bag. They offer a range of lens shades and technology to suit all conditions, from bright road races to shaded trails. There's no slipping, no bouncing, just solid performance and style. So if you're tired of sunglasses that can't go the distance, it's time to rethink your eyewear. Check them out at reyourrun.com.au and use code Jordan10 for a little something off your first pair. That's code Jordan10 to save yourself 10% off your first pair. Hey everyone, Jordan here. If you're like me, always pushing for that next level in training, recovery, and overall wellness, then you know the right fuel makes all the difference. That's why I'm excited to share my go-to for clean, powerful nutrition, Tropeaka. Tropeaka's range of certified organic supplements is packed with high-quality ingredients designed to fuel your body and elevate your performance. Whether you need a protein boost post-workout, an energy kick to get you through the day, or gut-loving superfoods to keep you feeling your best, Tropeaka has you covered. I personally love their lean protein because it helps my recovery without the heavy bloating feeling I get from these other proteins that I've had in the past. Plus, everything is free from artificial nasties, so I know exactly what I'm putting in my body. If you're ready to take your health and performance to the next level, check out Tropeaka today at tropeaka.com.au. And because I love hooking up all of my listeners, use code JORDSDAY10 for a special discount at checkout. That's JORDZDAY10 at checkout for a special discount. Fuel your body and power your life. Tropeaka has your back. Thanks, you all. Hey everybody, today I want to talk about a topic that has been on my heart for a while. And I know it's something that some of you might have either been thinking about or maybe even actively planning for, hence why you're on this episode. You've probably read the title and this sparked some interest. We're talking about leaving your 9-to-5 job to pursue your passion. Yep. That scary, exciting, life-changing leap into working for yourself. Let's get into it. Okay, let's be real for a second. It's terrifying. There's no sugarcoating it. Leaving a stable, consistent paycheck for the uncertainty of entrepreneurship, freelancing, or starting your own thing, it's not exactly an easy route, but I think it can be so worth it. First, I want to say this. If you're scared, that's quite normal. I was scared and I still am. I'm not exactly fully full-time with the podcast, with my book and everything, but I have slowly been transitioning towards moving full-time. And it's scary. Fear is part of the process. You're stepping into the unknown, and that's not something we're usually taught to do. We're taught to go to school, we're taught to get a job, and we're taught to climb the ladder and then retire. This whole creation or this whole starting your own thing is very new, and we're not exactly taught that. It's still kind of frowned upon, to be honest. Um, but what if the ladder doesn't lead where you want to go? We go through this path, we go through this uni path, and we're told you have to graduate secondary school, then go to uni, then get a good job, buy a home. What if that doesn't fit you and you don't see yourself going into that route? Or what if you graduate, you start working and you hate it? You don't know if you're going to like something until you actually go and do it. So you're spending 4 years at uni without really knowing if you're going to enjoy what you're doing for the rest of your life. What if your gut is telling you that you're meant for something more? What if your passion isn't just a hobby, it's actually your calling? These are all things that you won't know until you try to start something on your own and you truly find something that you like. Now, I'm not here to tell you to quit your job tomorrow. Um, that's not my advice. Also, take my advice with a grain of salt because I am no financial planner. I am no life planner or anything like that. I am just talking from personal experience. So, what I have done might not work for you. What I have done, you might be listening to and roll your eyes, and that's totally fine. This isn't advice. This is just kind of my journey, basically, and maybe I guess, some advice or some tips on what I did that might work for you. Keyword might. I know we've got to pay bills, we have mouths to feed, rent or mortgages to cover. I have always said that I do personally have responsibilities, but none of my responsibilities involve having children or taking care of anybody else but myself and Harley. So if you're listening to this and rolling your eyes, saying to yourself, oh, must be nice, what do you know? You're right. I've never claimed that I know what it's like to have children or other dependents. So this advice is not for you people, unfortunately, because I can't speak to that kind of responsibility. But let's talk about some transitions and what it can look like transitioning from your 9 to 5 to your own business. Here are a few things to consider before you take the leap. The first thing is build a financial cushion. Be sure to go back and listen to both the episodes with Catherine Lee, who gave amazing tips on side hustles. But aim for at least 3 to 6 months of expenses saved. This includes your rent, utilities, mortgage, food, kind of all of that, really. And it gives you breathing room and reduces the pressure to monetize your passion immediately. Chances are you are not going to be able to make a livable wage in the beginning. Chances are that all of the money you start earning from your business potentially will just go back into the business, and you might not be able to take a salary out in the beginning. Yes, that means that you might be able or not be able to leave your 9 to 5 for a while or until you've saved that much to start kind of leaving your business, but I think it definitely helps with stress down the road. Number 2 is start your passion on the side. Use your 9 to 5 to fund your dream until your dream can kind of fund itself. Nights, weekends, lunch breaks, it's kind of not easy, but it is doable. I personally worked on all of my projects, my book, the podcast, my blog, my social media content, training for my Ironman. I did all of that before my job. I did it after my job. I did it on the weekends. I did it on my lunch break. I used all of my spare time for these goals. Yes, it was exhausting because I was always doing something, but also those were, of course, passion projects. So I really didn't have to find the motivation because I loved doing them. There were things that I would have already done if I got home. The only difference between my 9 to 5 and that is that I want to switch these passion projects to become my 9 to 5 so that I can work on other passion projects in the future, etc. Or, make these passion projects kind of my actual job. Number 3 is create a transition plan. Set milestones. So milestone might be, when I make X amount per month for 3 months, then I can, maybe start dropping a day from my 9 to 5. I recommend doing it that way. If you are somebody that wants to be conscious and doesn't want to just go, I'm going to drop my job altogether, go from working full time, your 9 to 5, to maybe dropping a day if you can. Maybe work 4 days a week. That way you have one day to do your side hustle, kind of have a full day to work on it. Me as a physiotherapist, that's always been the plan. And that was the plan, was I am a full-time physiotherapist, dropped one day, dropped 2 days, and eventually, get away from physio and move to the area that I actually want to work in. Number 4, and this is one of my favorite tips, it's invest in learning. Whether it's taking a course, hiring a coach, or diving into YouTube and books, equip yourself. Your passion might need business skills that you haven't used before, and there's so much knowledge out there today, and it's for free. So you really shouldn't have an excuse to stop learning or to have questions not answered. I think, again, whether it's watching a video on YouTube, reading a book, there are so many free examples and tips out there. One tip that I actually discussed recently was Spotify, for example. A lot of us are paying for Spotify already. Spotify now has audiobooks. I don't know if you guys knew that. And if you are on a family plan, one plan each month, or one member on the plan each month, is allowed to download and listen to one book. If you are on your individual plan, you are allowed to listen to one book per month. That's loads. There are so many great business books, self-development books, etc. out there. And if you get one free book a month on Spotify because you're already paying for Spotify, that's a win-win in my book. Using your local library. If you're in Adelaide, I hate talking about this because I want to gatekeep it, but if you're living in Adelaide and you don't have a library card, what are you doing? All of the libraries in South Australia are connected. So if you go to your local library and you don't have a book there, or the library doesn't have a book there that you want, you can order the book from another library. The library has its internal delivery system, and a book will get shipped from another library in South Australia to your local library. So you might not get the book right away, but personally, I've waited maybe 5 days for a book, and that's maximum. Sometimes the books get there in a couple of days. So again, this is a free service. You, I think, should have a library card. You can also get a digital card. So if you don't want the physical copies, you can sign up online for your South Australia libraries and get a digital card to access digital content. So the Libby app is an amazing app. You can connect it to the South Australian libraries, and it's where you download all of your ebooks if you have a smart reader like me, or audiobooks. So again, free service. You really shouldn't have an excuse to not be learning, basically, because there's so many free resources out there. The 5th and final tip is tell the right people about your passion project. Surround yourself with people who believe in your vision, because it really helps with your mindset and it really helps with your goals. Not everyone will get it, and that's okay, but find the ones that do. Find the ones that give you tips. Find the ones that talk you up. Find the ones that help motivate you. You want to build your ego. You want to build your confidence. You don't want to have too big of an ego and be overconfident, but you do want those skills, and surrounding yourself with people that make you better are going to help with those skills. So when you finally take that leap, it's not all rainbows and instant success. It is hard and it is scary, but it's yours. You wake up excited, you build something that aligns with your values, your time, and your creativity. There's nothing better than spending your time for you, but also spending your time doing things that you want to do. I hear so much complaints about people not loving going to work and hating their job. And I don't hate my job. I actually like my job. But I feel like there are things that I can do that I would love even more. And that's kind of what I'm doing now. There's kind of a power in being the CEO of your own life. There's joy in seeing something grow from an idea into a business. And there's freedom in knowing that you chose this path, not because it was easy, but because it was kind of worth it. So if you're sitting at your desk listening to this, thinking there has to be more than this, I want you to know that there kind of is. You're not crazy, you're not alone, and you don't have to have it all figured out and kind of follow this linear path on creating your side hustle. But I think take the first step, start small, and just start. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear about it. So send me a DM on Instagram, Jordzday, JORDZDAY. Share this episode to your stories and tag me so that I can see you kind of building something up. I'm interested in your journey and kind of all of the ideas out there. I love cheering on with you. Until next time, dream big, everybody, plan smart, and don't be afraid to bet on yourself. Talk to you all in the next episode. To all of my people out there that are driven and goal-oriented, you probably already know the importance of reflecting, about reflecting on your failures, about reflecting on your successes, and how that can shape your future. I am somebody that loves journaling. I have tested out and I've used numerous journals. I've probably spent hundreds of dollars on journals, finishing a journal and moving on to the next one. The issue is that some journals have aspects to it that I love, but then other things that I don't use and I don't think are effective. Another issue is a lot of journals are just the same activity every day for 50 days or whatever, and I don't feel like I'm getting much between day 1 and day 50. That is why I created my own journal called The Courage to Be Seen. This journal is a 20-day experience. My goal of this journal is to allow you to really reflect and look over your lifespan of stories and things that have shaped you to who you've become now. Reflecting on experiences, reflecting on your journey to help rewrite your future. This journal is coming out very soon. Be sure to follow The Courage to Be Seen on Instagram to stay updated when the journal release date is.